Hi everyone. Welcome to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone's having a great day. Um, we're here again to talk about Jack and Lily and some speculation. The speculation train, as some would call it. Uh, this is just starting. Yep, it's just starting. That's my intro. Just gives people time to come in the door. Yeah. Um, so there they are, two sweethearts, two babies, Jack and Lily Sullivan, who went missing on May 2nd. Uh, According to RCMP, last seen May 1st of this year, and have not been located, have not been seen since. Um, and it is unknown where they are. Uh, The woods have been thoroughly, checked, by SARS, search and rescue, um, ground search and rescue, however you wanna call it, and, not to be found. So it is now assumed that they are not in the woods, although, there could be a very small chance that perhaps they are in the woods and were missed, but it doesn't seem likely that that's the case. And thanks for being here, everyone. Thank you. Um, so we have Lola, Carolyn, Eclipse, Holly, 007 or Star Child, AI Henry, and Mike. Thanks, everyone. So today I just thought we would touch on one of the speculations. Now, in the last video, I gave one of my speculations just based on the fact that RCMP had put a post up, an advisory, very short lived. It was put up and then taken down, but I had taken a picture of it and had shared that in the last video where they were in the area of what is called Chance Harbor. And I went through my speculation that if possibly the children had made it down to what is called Middle River, which is out their way. It's a river that I've fished at myself, my husband and I. Hi, Crisscross. Thanks for being here. And many others. It's a popular fishing spot. And there's no doubt in my mind that Daniel's definitely been there fishing. It has trout and salmon. So I had shown the distance between, um, you know, the property where the kids had went missing to the river. It's not far at all, and of course through the woods there's trails and paths and stuff that also lead to that river that locals usually use, and that is very close to the mouth. It's at the end of the river, so it's very close to the mouth that then extends into the ocean. But to get there, it goes through Pictou Harbor and then the area that is called Chance Harbor. And it's one of the areas where things can wash up. Um, and it was being it was closed off down there, and the advisory had stated for people to stay out of the way while they in that it was part of an investigation. So excuse me. So one could possibly assume that perhaps they were checking down there because something may have been brought to their attention. They were checking just to cover all the basis and make sure that, if the kids did make it to the river or if something nefarious took place and they were brought to the river. Because as I said, that the opening, um, it's at the end, so it's not as though if the children were in the river from that area of the Alma area of the river, that they would have to travel through the river, because it's that part of the river is actually where the opening then extends into an area that would go through what's called Granton and then into the harbors. And So it definitely would make sense to me that they would want to check that area. Whether the kids got down there accidentally or something nefarious took place and they were brought there, it's definitely a possibility that they were checking down in Chance Harbor for that reason. Um, and like I said, whether some evidence may have been reported or they're just covering all the bases to rule everything out. And um, what else was I going to say about that? Uh, I think that's it regarding that. And if you want to know more about that, you can watch my last video. I had shown the whole thing, shown the river, and somebody popped in. Actually, she's here right now. Seawood, hi. Thanks for being here. Had popped in during that video. She had been out searching, um, I think it was this past weekend, and there was a group that had went back out to search, and she herself had went down and took video of that river as well while they were out searching. So I mean, it is definitely a point of interest that is catching people's attention. That river. Oh, I know what it was that I was going to say. During that period, because we during that time when the kids had went missing, it's around that period where we're losing the last of our snow, and we did have one late snowfall, um, and it was in April. I can't remember exactly when, but it was a late snowfall, and it was quite a bit of snow. And then we go and we have rain at the same time. So our rivers are running high and pretty rapid, and I remember the river because I had been out there prior to the just before the kids had went missing, and I remember looking at the river, which is I kind of sightsee it while my husband's driving, and I'm notorious for checking the rivers because we used to fish the rivers, so I'm always checking to see is anybody down there fishing, what are the rivers like right now, and it was quite high and it was running pretty fast. So um, it wouldn't be out of the realm to think that if the kids ended up in the river at that point, um, that they could have made it through into the opening that would take them into the harbors and the ocean. Hi, Crystal. Thanks for being here. Deanna, hi. Thanks for being here. Um, But today, what we're going to get into is um, hi, Irene. Thanks for being here. Hi, Nova. We love your channel. Well, thank you very much. That's nice to know. Um, Today, what we're going to get into is some speculation that other people have. It's not speculation that I have. I It's not something at all that I think could take place or did take place. But I'm going to run through it just to give people an idea of because if you're not from Nova Scotia and you're not familiar with the basin and the tide that comes in there, the tidal bore, and the Bay of Fundy and all that, you wouldn't really have an understanding of what that looks like. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. um, and there's two particular areas here in Nova Scotia, and there's one area in New Brunswick that are uh, tourist areas, very popular tourist areas. But as you can see in that picture there, when the tide is out, it's completely empty. It's like water doesn't exist. And I'm going to show you some pictures of the in Nova Scotia, the two popular um, areas that people go to enjoy the tide coming in and out. And in New Brunswick, the area there, I used to live right along it. It was actually in my backyard. I lived in an old farmhouse in a place called Hillsborough, and across the field in my backyard on the other side was the bay. And I used to take the kids down there, geez, quite a bit, at least once a week. We'd go down and watch the water come in. So it is beautiful. It's very beautiful. And in Truro, yes, thank you. In Truro, what they have is called it's a river. Um, it's not the basin. It's a river that is an extension of the basin, and we're going to take a look at that as well. Um, and I have to be honest, I really didn't clue in that also Charmaine from It's a Crime and Shame had mentioned it on the last video I had did. She was in the chat, and I was kind of like, oh, I never thought because when I think of the tidal bore here in Nova Scotia, I think of the Minas Basin. I think of Five Islands, which I'm going to show you, and I think of Parsboro, which I'm going to show you. Don't really think of the river in Truro, which I see all the time because when you go to Truro, you cross right over it. It's like right there along the highway. In order to get into Truro, you have to go over it, and it's right there. And it's a huge river, and it goes quite a bit of ways. It's called Salmon River, and it goes quite a bit of ways through Truro because I've been at the other end of it with my husband when he was going to get a car part or something or other. One time he was going to buy something, and I went with him for the drive, and it kind of takes you way over into country land, beautiful country land, and we crossed over where the river was there. And I was quite surprised because I didn't know it was that long and had gone that far. Um, yeah, um, so we do have some people here from Truro. So AI Henry, or you're saying uh, okay. Um, yeah, if they're in the ocean, they will never be found. Sad. Yeah, I agree. Um, okay, so there's quite a few people here that are familiar because you're from around here. Yeah. Um, yeah. Hi, Linda. These kids did not walk away. They were removed by one of three, possibly a fourth. They were the only living souls living on the property. We can think Daniel was angry at one or both kids. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I lived in Nova Scotia for. Oh, okay. You live. Yeah, yeah. So you probably would have went to see it because it's an attraction. It's amazing. It's quite amazing. Yeah, and you're very familiar. My mouse keeps getting caught, and I have to keep pulling it. I have seen the tidal bore come in and out. Yeah, it's quite amazing. Yeah, yeah, and I think the misconception uh, uh, is that I hope I said use the right word there. My brain gets mixed up sometimes. I'm like, did I just use the right word? Is that people think it comes in very rapidly. Like when you picture a rapid flowing river and how fast it flows, and I think people are picturing that in their mind, but it's just in comparison because it empties out and then comes back in, and the amount of water that comes back in to fill that back up in a short amount of time is what is being referred to. It's not in the sense that it comes in, uh, so rapid that if you're in the way, it's going to knock you down and, thrash you around. Like it's not in that sense. And I'm going to show a video to show what it looks like as it's coming in. But I mean, you wouldn't want like if you're at Five Islands, I'll show you because the islands are out there, and when the water's out and it's empty, you can walk out to those islands. Well, if you're out there, if you don't start making your way back in at a certain time, you'll get stuck out in the water. So hopefully you can swim or you'll be in trouble, and it's happened. um, yeah. Did you know the fancies? Melissa. Not Melissa. Is she one of the we shouldn't say names in here. I should have put that up. We're not supposed to say names or last names. But I know who you're talking about. She would be quite a bit younger than me. Um, I'm not going to say which one I know who they all are. I grew up in Trenton, so yeah. Uh, 30 minutes from the highest tide in the world. Yeah, burnt coat. Oh, burnt coat. Yeah, yeah. Um, Salmon River. Yeah, yeah. And I'm going to show that. Uh, all of my family's in Truro. Cool. Uh, hi, Ginger. Thanks for being here. Uh, have they prosecuted any cases without the body? Oh, yeah. 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 Well, the one in Cape Breton, the poor father who went out and looked for his son and ended up finding him. He looked for a whole year. Well, the people that were, well, I guess I shouldn't say they prosecuted them. They arrested them for his red rum before they had even found, uh, oh, I can't remember his name. I'm sorry. Um, But, yeah, his father just found him a couple of months ago. What a sin, and he looked for him for a year. He knew that he was on this certain road, and he found him. Yeah, sad. Hi, Kim. Thanks for being here, South Africa. We have a special guest in the house. Hi, Belinda. Thanks for being here. Lots of love. Lots of love. And Belinda, if anyone does not know, is Lily and Jack's grandmother, paternal grandmother. And she is a superhero, and she is fighting the fight to find out the truth and information and where her babies are. And I say her babies because your grandbabies are your babies too. Justin McDonald. I don't know what that means. Oh, did I say something that I don't know what the Justin McDonald is about? Did I ask a question and I don't remember? Hi, Bernice. Thanks for being here. Yeah, we pray that that. Hi, everyone. Hope you are all doing well. Pray these babies are found soon. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. So let us take a look. And you guys feel free to chat while I'm going through this because when I'm over at the other screen, I can't really see you. um, so don't be afraid to chat with each other and help each other answer questions and whatever the case may be. I will be back and forth, but I can't stay on the one screen um, while I go over to the other. So Let let's start with the nice pictures of, uh, like I said, what I consider when you're talking about the tidal bore in Nova Scotia, the 2 most popular areas, which is, along the Minas Basin, would be Peggy's Cove and Parsboro. Um, so pictures, I just gotta pull the pictures up here. You would be familiar too, Belinda. I'm sure you've seen these areas. Pretty much everybody in Nova Scotia seen them, has saw them, seen them. All right, so this is 5 islands, and this is while it's empty. So you would never think that that is going to fill up with water. And those are the islands out there. You can see the islands. That's 3 of them, but there's 5 of them. Um, And I've been here so many times because I used to go camping there as a child with my grandmother every summer. And then my husband and I, when we used to camp, we used to go there as well. And the campsite that we would go to is right in front of this. So that's what you were looking at at the beach. Um, and so you can see when it's empty, it's empty. It's completely dried up. And so, I mean, definitely nobody, and mind you, this is along the Minas Basin. This is a big distance between where uh, the kids resided to the Minas Basin. Um, and you have to pass through an area called the Cobequid Pass, which is full of cameras. And prior to that, there'd be cameras beyond as well. So really, there would be no possibility, in my opinion, of that happening. Um, and, a person would have to time that so perfect and have to know exactly when to go there to do what it is that they would want to do. Um, so, yeah, so to me, that's just kind of out of the question. I can't see that being a possibility. Um, oh, that's our pig and our cow from the last episode. And there it is filled. So, um, that's pretty crazy. That's hard to believe that it can go from what I just had shown you to now when it's filled up, it looks like this. And it's a process. It's not like just within the snap of the fingers. It doesn't come in like I said, like a wild rapid river or anything. I'm going to show you what it looks like when it's coming in. But um, the point of them saying that, uh, how fast it is, compared to other areas, basins or waterways or whatever, it is definitely the fastest because I mean it's completely empty, and then you could see in the other picture on those islands the red areas, and how high up they were. Let me go back. Uh, and then you can see how much that water has filled that in, or how high that water has come up. Oh, that's one of the islands there. That that's pretty cool. That used to look like that, but when we had one of the hurricanes, the water, the tide, that yeah. So when we had a hurricane, the waves. So that's when the waves are like can become the highest waves worldwide. Um, and uh, the waves were so high, it actually knocked that piece out of there. So that's why you see in the other picture, it's not it's not the hole there anymore. um, yeah. Yeah, so you see all that red along the side, and I guess this the sandbur's in the way there, you can't see it on the other ones, but it's got, like, all the red along the bottom because then that's how high up the water will come when it fills back in, but you can see it on the side of one of the islands there. Um, yeah, so it's pretty crazy. Yeah, you see that island now on the left there, how you don't see that red anymore because it's all filled in, and you can see where that hole is gone now because of the storm we had and the waves were so high it took it out. And that's pretty close to shore, like I said. People walk out to it. Um, there was other pictures and it showed people actually part way out walking out to it and they'll go on the island and explore the islands and stuff. But like I said, there's a certain point where you have to start walking back in because if you don't, you're going to be stuck out there. And if you can't swim or if you don't start walking back, you're going to be stuck on the island. People have been stuck on the island and boats have had to go out and get them. Yeah. And I know when we went camping there and you go off to play, I remember like the big rule that was drilled into our head was never to go out there because, of course, when you're kids, you don't understand that water's going to come in and it's going to come in in a short period of time, and it's going, you won't be if you can't swim, you're going to be in trouble. Even if you could swim as a child, you'd probably be in some trouble. So now let's look at Parsboro. So there, Parsboro, you can see down below is the before, and again, this is the basin. So this is the before, and again, it pretty much completely empties out. That kind of has some dips there, so there's a little bit of water. Maybe that's as it's starting to come back into. I don't know, but you see the lighthouse there on that to the left there. And then up top, you can see where it's now filling in, and you can see where the lighthouse is now and how high up the waters come to that. So those when I think of the tidal board, this is what I think of, and these are the big tourist attractions here in Nova Scotia. And again, the other spot would be in New Brunswick, um, which is it's a provincial park there. Oh, what is the name of it? And it's actually more of an attraction than these two spots. Yeah. Um, and then we have Salmon River, Truro. So this is Salmon River, Truro. And what a beautiful pic, eh? And I'll also show you the video of the river, and it's going to show the tidal bore coming in. Hello to everyone new that uh, has come in the chat. Thanks for being here. Um, yeah. Um, so I will show you the video that shows what it looks like as it's coming in. Oh, actually, first I want to show you this map because it shows the river that's an extension of the basin that comes into Truro. Oh, I gotta make that bigger for you. Can't see that. I wish it would let me open that map bigger, but it won't. Well, I think that's as good as it's going to get, but that is the basin there. That little bit of writing in the middle there says the minus basin. Um, and so I'll pull that to over to the right. So Peggy's Cove and Parsboro are up top of that. Um, and those are those two places that I just had up on the screen that are popular spots here in Nova Scotia to watch the tidal bore. And um, I will show you the river in Truro, how this is connected to the river. So if I take you over to the right here, and so you can see Truro. So there's, well, I hope you can. There's Truro Heights. Um, yeah, Truro, it says the Fundy Discovery Site. Um, and you can see how busy it is there. Um, well, you can see the Salmon River. So it's up here. No, that's the North River. There it is. So that's the Salmon River there. Um, that is an extension of uh, the oh my gosh, I want to say that. Well, I guess it is the Bay of Fundy, but the uh, uh, minus base. Um, yeah, so you can see how that river extends from that. So, and it's in a very busy spot. So, I mean, that's Truro right there. That's the highway, and there's an overpass there. So, in order to see Salmon River, you go over the overpass. And, but if I go way over here and follow Salmon River, it comes way over here into like farmland. It's very long. And I've seen it over this way as well with my husband, like I said. But that again would be quite a drive. So, I mean, just to Truro here, where the Salmon River is, would be a drive in itself. And anybody would be taking a chance if they were ever thinking, to do something like that. Or if you thought, okay, well, the other end down here of Salmon River, again, that's quite a distance. It just doesn't really make sense. Um, yeah. So now I'll show you the video of the tidal bore, what it looks like when it comes in. And again, you'd have to time that so perfect. So you'd have to know, like, when is that perfect time that it's not completely empty, that uh, when there's water in there, when's the water going back out? You'd have to time that so perfect, and it would have because that's on a schedule, mind you. That's on a schedule. It's not on your schedule. It's on a schedule. So if I did something nefarious right now and decided, okay, I'm going to go hide that in Salmon River so the tide takes it out, um, that is not on my schedule. It's on its own schedule, right? So then you would have to try to time it around that. And so it just doesn't really make sense when you put that all together. It doesn't, it doesn't really, it's not a puzzle piece that fits, as I put it. um, so let's take a look at the video. This video is actually kind of cool too, I have to say, to see how it comes in. And you can really see how it comes in watching it on the river compared to the basin. Um, it's kind of neat to watch it come in the river because it's a little more telling.
Let's explore the fascinating natural phenomenon of the tidal bore in Truro, Nova Scotia. A tidal bore is a tumbling wave front that moves upstream in a river, signaling the arrival of an incoming tide. This happens in regions with large tides, like the Bay of Fundy. For a tidal bore to occur, three conditions are necessary: an almost flat riverbed, a higher riverbed above the low tide level, and relatively shallow river water. In Truro, located near the Bay of Fundy, you can witness a tidal bore twice daily on the Salmon River. Predicted times allow visitors to experience this natural spectacle. The bore showcases the extremity of Fundy's renowned tides, which are among the highest in the world. Fundy's tides are so high due to a phenomenon called resonance. It's like a parent pushing a swing. Repetitive, well-timed pushes create large back-and-forth motion. Similarly, the Atlantic tide at the edge of the continental shelf pushes the shallow Gulf of Maine water toward Fundy, creating massive tides. Enjoy watching the amazing tidal bore in Truro.
Oh, you know what? I gotta stop that because of the music. Ah, I'm probably too late now. But that gives you the idea. Pretty neat how that can't find the video. Pretty neat how that can do that. Um, yeah, so that gives you an idea. Anyways, I'm going to check over here and see what you guys are chatting about. Guitar Man, hi. Casey, hi. Jennifer, I can't remember if I said hi yet or not, but hi. Sierra, hi. Donna, hi. Glenda, hi, if I haven't said hi yet. Mara, anybody I missed? I'm sorry. Yeah, the pig gate. We weren't sure if it was a pig or a cow. So we all took a vote in the last video. But I was pretty sure it was a pig once I got a good look and saw the snout on it. But yeah, I didn't figure that was the old campsite. Um, but interesting, the old school on it. Um, yeah, they have Belinda Gray. There is a group of guys that actually go out in the waters looking for missing people, especially when a case has grown cold. I do believe, I mean, it wouldn't hurt to maybe try. Yeah, yeah, anything, right? Anything. And I mean, if there's fees to that, then that would be um, a great time to do fundraising and to help, Belinda in any way that if things were like that were to come about, right? Um, well, thank you for being here, Guitar Man. Welcome to the channel. Yeah, like what a that would be an awesome time to. It's the undercurrent at river mouths, yeah, created by the tides rushing in and out that drag things like that. Horrifying thought that it's possible they may have done that. I don't think that was, in my opinion, I don't think it was, though. There'd be too much to have to, there's too many obstacles to be able to do that, in my opinion. Like I said, the timing, you'd have to time it just perfect. Um, you'd have to miss every camera possible. Uh, and I know there's back ways as well, but I mean, there's houses all along there. There's no way unless you're taking a trail somehow through the woods. But still, you're going to have to time that perfect. Um, and I just can't see. I just can't see it. I really can't. Um, in my opinion, I just don't think that that's a possibility. Now, the river, um, Middle River, being that the end of the river out that way, and Alma is very close to the mouth of, there wouldn't be a lot of traveling downriver type thing now. And the fact that they were down Chance Harbor, and that's where that leads to, then that makes more sense to me that that could be a possibility. Um, but I mean, a theory's a theory. Speculation is a speculation. Every theory or any speculation I feel like should be forwarded. Yeah, there you go, to the RCMP because you just never know. Yep, yep. But I mean, I'm pretty sure they're thinking of it all as well, right? Um, yeah. Hi, Belinda. So many people want justice for Lily and Jack. I'm so sorry you were going through this. There are no words. In my opinion, this is a very likely scenario. Oh my God, why? Those two sweet babies, I know. Yeah, yeah, it's hard to rationalize that what we know uh, has, is for real and has taken place. That two precious little babies are just gone. They're just gone. Where are they? You know, it's hard to rationalize that. You'd have to go pretty far out toward the Atlantic Ocean to make sure it doesn't appear on the ocean floor at low tide or be brought back to shore during the high tide. Yep. Yeah, I agree. And but in a quick, jam, if something did happen, you're going to do what you have to do, and it may not be 100% to how you would want to do it, right? But you would do what you have to do, and you'd have to do it quick. And I guess that's why my mind early on, very early on, I kept thinking of the Middle River. Of course, I was calling it the Elmer River, because it's so close, and I knew that that was the end of the river that's so close, um, to the mouth, right? Um, that eventually leads out to the ocean. So, um, and I just, if somebody had to do something quick, of all the options that are close to that area, to me, that would be the option that somebody would probably take a look at. Not the lakes for sure, because that would just be stupidity. um, and other rivers just, they're not really leading into the ocean in that way that I had shown in my last video. Um, it just, like, when I looked at everything, it just seemed, and then when I heard that they were in Chance Harbor, because I was onto that river before I even heard they were in Chance Harbor. And then when I pulled the map up and saw the connection, then I was like, "Oh, well, oh, okay. Yeah." That's making more sense to me now. If that's why they're down there, maybe that's not why they were down there. But I don't know of any other cases going on around here that would bring them down there. Um, yeah. Ginger, I think the FBI profiler Brown, Pat Brown, yeah, summed up best why they wanted of tape of the days outside of the Friday timeline on Garlic Road. I think they want to place vehicles. I'm going to have to go back and listen to her video. When I had listened to her, I was not at the point yet where I thought anything nefarious had taken place, because it was before Daniel was behaving in the way that he's been behaving. And I'm not the type of person that's coming right out of the gate and pointing a finger and accusing, especially parents of missing children. Um, I'm not going to do that until there's enough things that have put my red flags off that you just can't help yourself but to say something's not right here. Um, and you just reminded me of the fact that I had listened to that, and I just kind of like, whoa, she's, I don't know about that. Now I'm going to have to go back and listen to it now that I know what I know now. And my mind has changed. Yeah, it'll be an interesting to listen to. I'll try and find the contacts or whatever and send them to you. Not sure how to, though, on your email connected or to YouTube. Yeah. Uh, and that's what we should be doing, right? All trying to help each other and help Belinda and support Belinda and do what we can, right? That's what this is about. Um, and for Jack and Lily, of course, and I mean in support of the family members, which includes Belinda. Um, Yeah. I wonder if they may be buried on Dee's father's land. I Yeah, in your opinion, if something nefarious took place, we have to make sure to use our opinions and stuff like that. Whereas the ATV is stored up there. Um, God knows, right? If something nefarious did take place with them, right? Um, and again, like, yeah, what in a quick in in a moment where you have to make that quick decision of what to do next, right? Yeah, what does a person decide to do, right? Yeah. I guess my focus I started to hone in on the water thing just because Daniel had referenced water a couple of times. I kind of caught that, and it kind of was one of, and I mean, not that's in my opinion. It's just pure speculation. Um, doesn't mean anything, of course. I mean, I'm nobody, right? But it's just one of those things that you just kind of go, hmm. It just puts the alarm bell off. Doesn't mean anything though. Um, well, I guess it could, but certainly doesn't mean that it does for sure. Uh, AWP used sonar, yes, to find the cars they went missing with, unfortunately. And that is just so crazy that they have actually been finding stuff like that. My husband brought that to my attention. He was so amazed that, right? And I mean, they're not police. They're just doing their thing. They just figured this out and thought, well, let's use this to put it to a better use, and they're doing that. Um, yeah. And I wonder if they ever come to Canada. Uh, I'll have to check out some of their videos. I don't know if they've ever come to Canada. I think they'd be taking a big chance with all the obstacles in the way or the possibility of things washing back into shore. Exactly. Exactly. Like that would like not that I would ever be in a position to do something like that, but to me that'd be the last place I would ever want to try to, you know, juice take something to get it to wash away because that's yeah. Uh-uh. Uh yeah. I agree, Nova. I think closer to home. Yeah. And that is common as well. Closer to home, familiar places. And, we can think back to Amber Kerwin, who it ended up, she was abducted here in town. Um, and when they, you know, had a suspect, um, lo and behold, where was she finally found? But out by where his old family home was, way out in, well, actually closer to the side of the county to where Jack and Lily lived. Um, in, oh, what was it called? Heathville? I think it was Heathville Road. Yeah, so I mean, that was, she was found way out in the country, way out, um, where the home that he grew up in. And the reason why they eventually did find her was because, they went to those familiar areas, right? And they knew, okay, that's where he grew up, and they went out and they checked out there, and actually, it was same as Jack and Lily, they were done with the search. They had packed everything up and away they went, and they were done with the search. And I spoke of this before. There was a couple of police officers who just, uh, in their gut, they just felt she was out there and went back out. And one was my brother in law. And it was actually him that said, like, I think she's out there, and he wanted to go back. So him and this other police officer went back out, and it was just them out there, and they found her. And she was out by his old family home, old stomping grounds. Eclipse. I think they would go far away from any family familiar property. Yeah, it's possible. Well, and look what I just said, right? They tend to actually go to familiar places, but being that they live right on the property, I see what you're saying, right? And would probably go to perhaps a closer familiar area. Yeah. Um, or a close familiar area, but not right on the property, possibly. Yeah. And again, this is all speculating in our opinions, allegedly, because we don't know what took place here, right? But we know that there's things that are just not making sense, and things that just don't look right, things that aren't adding up, right? So one can't help but speculate that something else may have happened here. Um, Hi, Drippy. Thanks for being here. I had your back today, girl. John Southern Vlogs. Oh my. Uh, I don't think they're that smart, Sandra. Yeah, you never know. I kind of think Daniel's a little crafty, sneaky. You know, some people just develop some ways and habits because it's worked for them and they've mastered it. And especially when you deal with addiction as well. Now, this again, in my opinion, in my opinion. Um, yeah, yeah. So hard to say. People in the area should be searching shorelines, in my opinion. I think there are some people that are gone out and doing that. They can't search the woods anymore. See Wood and whatever group she was with, that would be it. Because until fall, because now we're on a fire ban that does not allow anybody at all in the woods. So it's only shorelines right now. Excuse me. I always felt they were close to home. Yeah. Does anybody know Dee's favorite fishing places? Um, God knows. He's probably like my husband, who's also an avid fisherman. Not so much anymore, but they fish a lot of places. But I know for a fact that river he would have fished. That's a definite. I wouldn't even have to ask him. That's a definite. Malaya is now child free, if that is something she longed for. I don't know. I don't know. She seemed to love her babies. Um, Anyone know which property is Earl's? I I feel like Sunny may have shown it on It's a Criming Shame, and that uh, if anyone know, or you guys probably already answered the question by now because I'm so far behind, but that there's woods behind that property, and then it opens up again, and that his property might be along there, but you have to go down to Lansdowne Station Road or something. I shouldn't be answering because I'm not 100% sure. I was planning on looking around the Walton area because we are going bass fishing. Oh, good. Another lady that fishes. I haven't been fishing in years, though. We walk out to meet the tide coming in and walk back in as we fish. Oh my God, that sounds like so much fun. I'm jealous. Don't know if I can though because we rough camp. Yeah, see, but you're like my husband and I. That's how we used to live. We rough camp when we do it, and right now we are not allowed to rough camp. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Oh, cool. Yep, justice for Jack and Lily. So you folks think the children are close to home, even though our CMP and search and rescue would be on scene? Um, well, I don't mean close to home, like close to home, like not like we just went over a theory, speculation that some have that they were taken to possibly towards the Minas Basin or the Salmon River because of the tidal bores in those areas. And I'm just showing, how one could rule that out, not putting down anybody's theories or speculation because we all have our own thoughts. That's fine. But I just thought I would go over it because, like a lot of people that are not from here don't know what that looks like or what the distance is. The fact that you have to go through Cobequid Pass with all the cameras, like it's just doesn't seem doable or to go that far away from home. No, I believe that most people go to a familiar area, something that's um, you know, not so much home as far as being right on the property you live on, but familiar stomping grounds, whether that be a place that you fished, um, but places that are familiar to you. Um, that's my thoughts. Are you Seawood? We usually go rough camping. Oh, okay. You guys are having a chat. Uh, like in my opinion, I feel that might be why they were down at the harbor there, looking around there. I think possibly that's why, because the fact that that river is so close to home and it's familiar to Daniel as far as fishing. And I mean that river has salmon come up in it, right? And he would be used to, in my opinion, I'm sure he would be familiar to the end of the river that's close to the mouth. Um, yeah, so that's just my thoughts on that. Um, when we found out that D cannot see his children from his former relationship, that sent off red flags for me. Oh yeah, yeah, that was one for sure. Yep, yep. If you would like to reach out to know, okay. At Belinda, oh, interesting. Wow. I would have dug up that different patch of earth by the RV and had it forensically tested. I noticed that that patch looked different as well, and I'll tell you how much it caught my interest. I actually looked it up to see what causes dirt to turn because to me it looks almost like a yellowish greenish color. But it's hard to tell in a picture, right? Because I had wondered, did she set a pool up there and there was chlorine in it, or like the water that was in the pool um, from the well? I would assume they have well water. Typically out there you do, but even if it's well or tap, whatever chemicals are in the water, um, like and these are just things that run through my crazy mind. But anyways, I noticed that patch a while ago. So then I looked it up, what causes dirt to cause different color, because I was thinking, well, maybe she did set the pool up. And did the kids get out and she had water in the pool there? And if something happened, was the pool dumped and chemicals that are in your well water or tap water would leave like a mark there um, and cause the earth to turn a different color? Anyways, that was just a crazy thought in my head. Not at all saying that that happened, but I'm just saying I noticed that patch as well, and it caught my curiosity to the point where I was actually looking it up, what would cause it. At the end of Hiltz Road, there is a landing with an awesome view. We bring our toilets and shower and put up our tents there. There is waterfall. Oh, neat. You can shower into there, but not likely running. Oh, it's kind of cool to do that in the waterfall, though, isn't it? I love doing all that old stuff, and I'm yeah, I love all that stuff, and I miss it. I miss it bad doing that stuff. I'm quite primitive. I actually sent Nova some pics taken on top of the landing to show how the tide goes out there. Oh, did you send them right now? I'll go get them. I'll check. Uh, I In my opinion, I thought it was strange. He kept talking about water, like he wasn't afraid to get wet. I don't know. Makes me feel weird. And he wouldn't be afraid to get wet. He's an avid fisherman, right? But yet, in those texts to Sonny and Cher, he's going on about how he could have been impaled and like I'm reading that and I'm thinking, "Oh my gosh, like you have pictures all over your Facebook of you in the water fishing. Do you know what it's like to catch a fish?" Well, Drippy would and be standing in the water and a fish that size. I mean, but he's worried about getting knocked into the water while he's looking for kids, which just anyways, oh, drives me nuts to talk about the stuff he says. Hi, Anna. Thanks for being here. And if there's anybody I missed as well, thank you for being here. Daphne, hi. Excuse me. You did. Do you know what? I'm not getting emails. I don't know why. You're the third person that told me that you sent me an email. Now, Drippy, I get Drippy's emails. I left you a message on one of your videos about that lake. It's called Dryden Lake, and that's the lake that is an extension of Middle River. Well, I should say the river is an extension of the lake. I'm just checking my emails. Hmm. I don't have any. I don't know what's going on with my emails. It seems since I got my new phone, I'm having issues with my emails coming in for some reason. I don't know why. Just sorry, Drippy, I can't pull those up. And Daphne, uh, because Mark said he sent me an email too. So that's, yeah. So now that's four people that said they sent me an email and I'm not getting them. But I'll work on that after this video. You know what it's like trying to work on something like that. It's not going to take a couple of seconds. Not for me. My husband will probably have to help me because I don't know why it's doing that since I got my new phone. Uh, yeah, sonar for detection underwater has been used for many years. Many fishing boats use them. Yep, yep, but they're making them better and better. That's for sure. Look at that undercurrent, super powerful. Yep, it is. The currents here are pretty bad, I have to say. Yeah, I think so too, Belinda. I think he's adapted some pretty crafty ways myself, in my opinion, completely in my opinion. Yep. Um, some people are smart in ways that are not good, you know, um, unfortunately. Hi, Mark. Thanks for being here. Thank you to all my mods. Jump as, thank you for being here. Read many cases where autistic children are found in water. Those children acted like normal, ignored children wanting attention. That autistic statement is yeah, I kind of question the autistic thing as well. I did right from the beginning because I just find I don't know. I find that the parents self-diagnosing thing, I said that in one of my very first videos on this case, is, it's done way too often. And many times it can be because of what's going on with the children, right? That they can be, uh, thought to be. Or was that part of the whole thing with trying to not put it out there with what was really going on at the school, with CPS being called, right? And that was part of the story, right? That they were going to stick to, that it had to do with the kids possibly being autistic. Um, but yeah, I doubt that as well. And out of the two, if I thought either one of them might have something going on, as far as autistic, possibly Jack, but still, not, how can you say when you know now what circumstances the kids were living with, right? Like, because now, you know, it just, yeah, you just don't know. Hi, Chelsea. in order to keep in order to keep people looking away from the focus of close to home. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Linda Gray, he is overconfident. Yeah. That will be his downfall. He is also likely paranoid, so can be easily tricked. Yeah, he's way paranoid. Easily tricked if he has personality disorder. I think he may. In my opinion, I agree 100% with everything you just said. And the personality disorder for sure. Yep. Yep. And let's hope that personality, because as we know how it goes, that the narcissistic can be a part of the personality disorder, and a personality disorder can be a part of someone who is schizophrenic or sociopath, or not schizophrenic, psychopath or sociopath. So let's hope that's not the case. But again, allegedly, speculating and in our opinions. Oh, I see what you're doing. Okay, 11:35 is Earl's. Yeah, Daphne's on the case. Yeah, Daphne's like Daphne, you're like Daphne off of Scooby Doo. You are. Um yeah, but why is people saying that story was true with hikers? That's so messed up. Also the one where the little girl Lily was found and they use it as a fake story in Lilly&Jack. Yeah, I know. I know. I report those channels. I've reported them. Yeah, it's terrible. That the reason why they do that is because in order to be monetized, you need so many hours of footage of your videos being viewed, and you need 1,000 plus subscribers. They get it so quick, especially early in the case where people are not cluing in that it's all bull caca and they're clicking and um so and they get a quick income from it, and then they'll make another channel and do it again, and then they'll make another, and they just keep doing it. And I mean, honestly, that's YouTube that should be watching that and taking care of that stuff because it's disgusting. Truth and Beauty, hi, welcome. Trippy, what do you think he has? Yeah, Mark. And anyone that does that, man, it makes my blood boil. I hear you. Yep. You can report them. I've reported them, and the channels do get taken down, but it's frustrating that you have to keep reporting them and reporting them and reporting them. I don't think that it should be able to stay up. Yep. They do get taken down if they're reported. I mean, it brings awareness regardless, but it's clouding the real news. Yeah, yeah. There's enough people out there to bring proper awareness with the facts, sticking to the facts. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with opinions and speculation, but what they're doing is outright, it's trash, is what it is. And they will take them down if you report them. I absolutely think the kids are close, in my opinion, and may be moved. Yep. I wondered that myself about being moved, but man, they would be watching him like a hawk, I would think, right? One would think. Not just him. Drone search of the upper middle Pictou River would be good, in my opinion. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the thing is, especially where things are drawing up now, um, and the thing is, like, you can do those searches, and I mean, well, just like the story, not the story, but the true case of the young girl who went missing here, who was abducted. I mean, they were all packed up and gone. It's never too late to do another search, or and then go again and then go again because you don't know what you're going to find. And I mean, look what happened. That they were all packed up, gone, search over and done with, and they went back out there and found her. Yes, I saw the news about the fact no one is allowed in the woods due to high risk of fire. Yeah, and Belinda had told us that as well, that nobody's searching can go in the woods now, just along the shorelines. Daphne's case files. Do you know what time Janie's brother drove to town that morning? Daphne says she's not sure. I hope they're found. I know, you know, either way. And, I didn't go through all those messages, the essay that Daniel wrote um, for Sunny, because I thought, I know what this is going to be. And why take my precious time to read through all this when I know exactly what it's going to say, because it's all going to be about counteracting what we've all been picking out of what he's saying, like, that, Malaya is the one who said that, not him. And I made it clear I didn't believe it was him in my videos, in my lives. And trying to discount what he said about the blanket. Like, I knew that it was just going to be all about that. So I thought, I am not taking my precious time to read through that just to go to read all of his, you know, counteractions again. I'm not doing it. And so, but I did listen to what Sonny said. Um and and I listened to it again, and I thought, yeah, well, that's exactly what it is. Like, it's just um you know so yeah, it's just sad. And regardless of how these children are found, oh yes, and he's saying, he's still putting this out there, that he thinks that they were um set up to look like an abduction and somebody has them, but now it's not Malaya. He's saying it was, she had nothing to do with it. And I guess he's saying Cindy still does, I guess. I don't know. Who is it now that did this? Well, he said old people must have them, because it would have to be people that are not working so that they could care for them all day. Um, and just like, oh my goodness. So, anyways, whether that happens to be the case, which I don't think so, or, they're not with us anymore. Yes, they need to come home. They need to be put to rest properly, in the right way. Thanks, JDR. I'll probably go fishing regardless. Plus, I got a new metal detector. Oh my god, my husband and I also did the metal detecting too. I want to try it out on the mud flats. My husband still has his, but I told him, you may as well sell mine, because I can't do it anymore. It sucks. I think Jay's brother has more to do with it than what we think. Jay's brother. Trying to think of who Jay. Oh, Janie's brother. Janie's brother. Um, Not that all those thoughts haven't crossed my mind either, but because, as far as we know, he he wasn't on the property, had nothing to do with the time frame, being there when the kids went missing and so on. It's not a place I would go unless more information ever come out to back any of those thoughts up. But it's not like it has crossed my mind that, well, what if that was a possibility? You can't help but think of every possibility and scenario, right? Yeah. Fun and awful sauce, in my opinion, that Janie's brother was calling at same time. Yeah, and again, that of course entered my mind, but it's not a place that I'm willing to go, um, unless something else, things came about that pushed me in that direction. Personally, for me, but yeah, totally get what you're saying. Yeah, yeah, she's got my gear too. Also, grass will grow and very nice if there's bodies underneath. Oh, didn't know that. At Belinda, did it appear to have any concrete dust around it? There were two potholes filled close to the camper, in my honest opinion. Make a lot of sense with the reasoning. I don't know if you're talking to me, but if you are, thank you. Yes, think about Chris Watts. Do we have to? Ugh. He put his daughters, I know, in an oil drums at his workplace, and he put his wife in the ground on property owned by the company he worked for. I know. Like, what is wrong with people? Yeah. And then there he is on the news, right? And the thing that really stuck out with the Chris Watts thing for me as well was when Malaya had stated about how Daniel holds her down to get her phone. And I pictured him, I mean, to hold somebody down, you have to straddle them. And when I pictured that, it brought my thoughts to Chris Watts because that's what he did to his wife, Shanann. That's what happened. He was straddling her, and no doubt they probably were in an argument, and he ended up unaliving her. So I think she did fill in a pothole. It was way too early and cold to set up a pool. I know, right? And it was not a nice fall here. Like, I can't even say, or spring. I can't even say, oh no, we had a nice spring here this year. I could see somebody grabbing a pole early this year. No, no, it was a very cold. It was still going into the zeros periodically. Like Belinda said, there was frost the day. I think it was the morning that the kids went missing. There was frost on the ground. Like, it was not nice. It was not nice weather, and the winds and the rain. Yeah, it wasn't nice. I'd be looking to see what all they were buying recently. Yeah, yep, yeah, and I'm sure they did look at that, like, around that time, yeah, for sure. Not that I noticed he would. Hi, Bobby Joe, welcome to the chat. Um, yes, it's great, yes, analyst Pat Brown. Oh my god, am I that far behind? Second video on topic. Okay, I'll go back and watch both of them again. Um, Hi. I thought I already said hi to you. Did I go back up and what's going on here? Hi, Daphne. So I hope you guys heard me that I'll fix my email after this video. I'll get on top of it and figure out what's going on because I'm not getting my emails. Oh, yeah. I know, right? I know. You gotta laugh, right? Especially the avid fisherman who's got his hip waders on out in the water with the big, I don't know if it was a salmon or trout. Well, probably both. So I don't want to skip your what you're saying, guys, but I have to try to get down to the bottom. So anybody new coming in, I'm going to grab their comments. Excuse me. Hi, Nova Chat, Mods, Belinda, and Chelsea. Carla, thank you for being here. Orly, hello, Belinda. I have been watching this case from day one, and I truly believe someone has Lily and Jack and they are alive and well. Well, wouldn't that be a blessing? Wouldn't that, like, yeah. Mama G, thank you for being here. Okay, I'll check and see. I'll check and see, Drippy. No, it's my email. Hmm. And like the emails you guys sent me the other day are here. Yeah, like when we were doing the Darewood thing. They're there, but then something happened after that, and now no emails are coming in. I don't understand why. I can't. Thank you for being here. I'm way behind. Hi, Missy. Missy, are you? Did I hear that you're going to be going out and doing some searching along the wa- uh, water's edges, riverbeds? Well, I'm Canadian. I'm from Pictou County, Nova Scotia, from where Lily and Jack went missing. Lisa, if I didn't say hi already, hi. I can't remember. I'm sorry. That's what my short term memory is like. It's terrible. Yes, they are. And they're terrible. They're awful, awful, awful. I report them whenever I can. Yes. And I happened to be watching and I saw that. Oh, so I put a comment in his comments because he get after he booted you out and he deleted your comments and then said you deleted them. He goes, now see, he kept calling you a he. See what he did? Once I called him out for him supporting Darren Geddes, he deleted all his comments and was saying that you must be kin of Darren Geddes, and oh my god, I had to laugh at that. Anyways, and he's calling you a he, saying he. I'm like, oh my god, too too funny. Anyways, I wrote a comment in his thing that you're just trying to correct misinformation and to please keep Jack and Lily's case alive with facts. Facts. Hmm. Do you think the start location is relevant, Belinda? Well, if they asked Malaya, did the kids have these stars when you guys were at the dollar store? Did you buy a pack of these stars for the kids or whatever? Then it would definitely be relevant for sure. But we don't know, right? Yeah, it is. It's terrible. Cheryl, hi. Thanks for being here. Balance, hi. Thanks for being here. And thank you. Barbara. Nova, I felt the same way about Daniel's many messages and did not read them all either. Yeah, because you know what it's going to say, right? You know what it's going to say. So why bother wasting your brain cells? Yeah. I think Jay's brother is involved somehow because Jay brought him in with his cell phone call. Yeah, she did, didn't she? Mhm. And somebody told me that that part of that interview is removed now. That where she shows her cell phone. I mean, we still have it. I have it. Whoever showed that on their channel would still have it, but um now I never went to check, but apparently if I was told if you check the CBC interview that that part of the interview was taken out where she shows her cell phone. Which I have to be honest, I thought it was kind of weird that they had that in there anyways because it's kind of doxing people, right? When you're showing all the calls on the phone. Uh, I'm believing we're going to get some answers soon. They say what you believe in becomes reality. Yeah, yeah. I hope so. Uh, Honker Splonker. Cute name. Really, Barbara. He might as well run for politics. I asked the question to Missy about are you going to be go? Are you? Did I hear you and some other people are going out? And I'm just looking for the answer. Bobby Joe, I was so into the that case. I swear I spent thousands and thousands of hours on. Oh yeah, Shanae, Bell, and Cece, Nico. The first few years of that one. Oh yeah, Nico too. I forgot. Yeah, because she was pregnant. Yeah, yeah. Oh, what a creep he is, eh? Ooh, scary, scary. I'm gonna skip breakdown. Okay, I am Nova. Okay, I am Nova. We'll just be doing dirt and gravel roads. Yeah. But you never know what you're gonna find. I'll be looking at lakes and bridges. Yes, I'll get pics for everyone who wants some. Yeah, yeah. You can send them some to me if you want. I mean, don't. I wouldn't mind if you did. Oh, you did delete them. I thought it was him because you could hear his mouse going click, 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 and I thought he's deleting all her messages. Oh my god, that that was just too funny. And we know it's true. You are a very close kin of Darren Getty's. We know it. You may as well admit it. I like your channel, Nova, because you're local. Not keen on all the new channels jumping on the bandwagon. Yeah. There's some good channels out there, though, I have to say. And as long as people are trying to be accurate and putting the facts out there, like the channel that Drippy and I are talking about, like, oh my goodness. Um, and Drippy was just trying to tell him, like, that that's AI, it's not fact. And he didn't like that. And so, I left him a message in the message section, comments, just saying, like, you know, first of all, Drippy's a she. I had to let him know that because I was going to be saying she. And she is just trying to let you know that what you're saying is misinformation, right? And then I put like Jack and Lily with hearts and said, please keep the case alive, but make sure it's factual. Um, because I mean, we can all work together and keep the case alive. Um, you know, but yeah. Nova's channel has excellent analysis. Well, thank you. Yeah, when I corrected him, he blocked me. Okay. Okay. Then would ask me questions I couldn't respond yes to and use that as proof I was a troll. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, wow. My goodness. Yeah, I bet you were. Yeah, but he's just kind of something to chuckle at, really. I just, yeah. Well, guys, I think how far is Lake Thomas? I don't know. I know. Imagine, like, who would want to block Drippy? Like, I would want the intelligent. She's so intelligent, right? You want her thoughts. Mama G, why is that strange? There's not much cell phone service in the area. Yep. Anyways, at the best of times, when you're running around searching, you're more up to just lose it. Yeah, true, true. But honestly, if it was me, I would still have that cell phone with me. I would for sure because you don't know what you're gonna run into either, right? Like, and you'd probably want to stay with the kids while you try to contact the other person and at least have that option. And then if you couldn't get a hold of them, then you're gonna have to leave the kids and go say to somebody, call 911, right? In case they were hurt. Um, I wasn't gonna say his name, but you did, so that's all on you. Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, right? Oh my god. Yeah. Well, I applaud you because although he was trying to make it out like you were a kin of Darewoods and um you were on the side of anyone who hurt the children, we know you were doing the right thing and trying to make sure that Jack and Lily's information it was correct and factual. So I applaud you for speaking up and doing the right thing. Um, well, guys, I'm going to say goodbye. When I end the stream, I won't click off. If you guys want to keep chatting for a bit, go ahead. It'll allow you to keep chatting for a bit. But I have to skedaddle and go have some supper with the hubby. Supper time here. And I'll get my email fixed and check out the emails you guys have been sending me that I haven't been getting. um, and thank you to everyone for being here. If you don't mind, please hit the like. If you wish, share and subscribe. And yeah, like I said, I'll end the stream, but I won't exit out the screen. So if you guys want to keep chatting with each other there for a bit, go for it. I'm not going to sit here and read what you're saying, so you can talk about me if you want. uh, yeah. Well, take care, everyone. Lots of love, lots of positive vibes. Uh, and I will see you maybe tomorrow, if not the following day for sure. Take care, everyone. Bye.